You know how many Padres fans are sitting on their computer just looking at the depth chart of their newly constructed team going, I love this. So let's do the same thing. We're going to pretend that we're Padre fans. Take a look at the roster. You see what you see. You see the rotation now. Andrew Cashner was supposed to be the guy. But what do, Al? They went with the free agent side. They needed an ace. Is James Shields really that guy? Do you still look at James Shields as a clear-cut ace of a rotation, which he's now for the Padres?
He's not a top 10 pitcher in the game. I put him at about 20 or 25. Yes, he is. And I think there's certain guys. Now, look, 8 years, 200-plus innings, 227 innings, not including the postseason, all this. But you look at what he's done, yes. And the residual effect of what you just mentioned, Greg, of where everybody else goes down, he's definitely an ace in my mind.
Okay, so since he's the guy, everybody moves down. Brandon Morrow and Josh Johnson thought for sure they were going to battle each other for that number 5 spot. But when you look at the roster, Despaigne likes his chances. Robbie Irwin got some starts last year. Casey Kelly used to be a top prospect for the Boston Red Sox. How do you see this shaking down, that 5th starter spot?
For me, if everyone's healthy, I think Brandon Morrow has the best stuff. Josh Johnson, I think he still needs a little bit more time coming off surgery. Stuff-wise, it's those two. The thing is, health has been a huge issue for these guys. You know, Despaigne actually did a decent job for the Padres last year. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't make that 5th spot. He could be a long guy in the bullpen. Okay. They have some options, which is good. But if you look around the league, a number 5 starter is not a stud on most teams.
Give me the name. Who's going to win that job real quick?
I like Brandon Morrow. Okay. Listen, Johnson's not going to get out of in April. I think Morrow, you mentioned it, Despaigne there. Your 5th starter's interchangeable on any team, whether they're World Series or not.
Okay, I want to talk about center field. Are we buying Will Myers in center field defensively? Because if you're second guessing it, because he hasn't played a lot in center field, can I just show you who he reminds me of, Mike? And tell me if you think this is nonsense. I've watched Will Myers play in center field, and you see this tall, lanky, 6'3" kid, and he's got good range. To me, I don't know if you see the same thing. I see Dale Murphy in center field.
I think you're insulting Dale Murphy. Only because Will Myers has played 2 years in the big leagues. That's a 3-time MVP, by the way, out there.
How about 6 games in center field, Will Myers?
Yeah, I mean, let's not throw Dale Murphy out there first. Be, Mark Kotsay type first, and then we move on to the future Hall of Famers.
Whatever, okay,
But yes, I do think he can play center field.
I've got a crazy radical idea. Yonder Alonso's at first base. Can I just throw something at you, just real quick, before I go? Everyone says Carlos Quentin's not going to play, right? What's Carlos Quentin going to do? He doesn't have a spot. If you put him at first base, then you take a look at what the infield looks like. Carlos Quentin's never played first base. You put Carlos Quentin in that projected lineup. He's 32 years old. 2011, he had over 20 home runs. Why not? Myers, Kemp, Upton, Carlos Quentin. Who's buying it?
If he's healthy, does he hit lefties?
Oh, you're asking too many questions.